Shalom Aleichem. Welcome to the weekly Parshas HaShavua talk. This week is Parshas VaYigash. VaYigash has an amazing story. The brothers sold Yosef into slavery. That was Parshas VaYeshev. Parshas B'Case, we find how bad that slavery was and how he ended up eventually to become the viceroy of all of Egypt. And the brothers came to him, and the brothers, bowed down to him. He was the king or the viceroy, they had to do that. But something is wrong with the whole scenario. Yosef could either have taken the brothers and smashed them. After all, they sold him into slavery. What do I need you for? Sibling rivalry goes back a long time. On the other hand, Yosef could have acted very compassionately. Oh, hi guys, it's great to see you. I'm sorry we were separated for the last 22 years, but okay, let's get together and celebrate. Neither of those things happened. What he did was he first sent them with a challenge. Bring Binyamin or go to prison. He sent them to prison. And Yosef aggravated them, so to speak. You're spies, right? You did something very wrong. You came here to spy out the land. Who knows what you want to do with us? And the brothers were worried. They eventually were freed, 9 of them. Shimon was kept captive. But the brothers were freed to go back to Yaakov in Canaan. And then they had to come back to buy more bread, more grain. And they came. And they came for the grain. And Yosef accepted them, brought them close to him. He still didn't tell them who he was. And he sent them off with a bon voyage, right? By taking his special cup and putting it in the bag of Binyamin, the youngest brother. So they were all brought back to Egypt after they left. You better get back. You better start telling us what's going on. Anyway, that was last week's Parsha Miketz. Now we're up to VaYigash. And VaYigash, we find the most amazing type of conciliation between siblings. Yehuda goes forth to Yosef, and he simply says to him, you better release us because you didn't keep your word, and frankly, if you don't keep your word, I'm going to kill you. Now, here's Yosef the ruler. He's probably got a bunch of bodyguards around him, and Yehuda goes up, I'm going to kill you. And there's a whole conversation back and forth. How can I go back to my father after all and whatnot? And the child is not with me. So before we go any further, let's just analyze that one sentence my Rosh Hashiva used to say, Eich ele el ovi v'hanar einenu iti. Yehuda said to Yosef, how can I go back to my father without the child, without Binyamin, right? But he said Pshat, he says, how am I now, at my age, going to go up to my Father in heaven without being able to account for the years of my youth? That's a pretty good question. Can I account for them? Were they good years? Did I do really good? Okay, but that's what you have to think about. Eich ele elovi. How will I go up to my Father in heaven, if I don't have my years of youth? What did I do with my life? What did I do with my life? But anyway, Yehuda challenges Yosef, and he gives him really an ultimatum. Either you let us free, or I kill you. Without fear. Yosef realized that the brothers were sorry for what they did. So he's going to reconciliate with them. And he did. He sends everybody out. No Egyptian was sitting in the room. It was just Yosef and the 10 brothers, the 11 brothers, because Binyamin was there now. So there are 11 brothers sitting in a room. Yehuda just threatened Yosef. He's going to kill him. And Yosef sends every Egyptian out. No bodyguards, no one to watch over him, no one to listen. Why not? Because he does not want to embarrass his brothers when he reveals himself. That's reconciliation. I, who was the injured party, will not do anything to embarrass my siblings. It's an amazing thing. An amazing, amazing thing. How a person works on themselves not to embarrass somebody else, a person who is definitely guilty for what they did wrong. So the reconciliation between the brothers was really something. It's an amazing thing. Now we have the story that Yosef sends his brothers back with wagons to bring Yaakov and all their stuff. He says, don't worry about your vessels, don't worry about your furniture. Come, we'll give you the best of the land of Egypt. And as Rashi says, the best of the land of Egypt, that you will be given when you leave in the Exodus. You're not going to get it now, right? Because all the sojourn during the exile, when the Jews were in exile in Egypt, from the time that Yaakov and his children came, for the 210 years later that they left Egypt, right? They weren't going to have an easy time, right? Kituv kol eretz Mitzrayim lefanecha. Understand that you will get the great treasures and all the good that is in Egypt when you leave, right? Why is that? Because that's the way of exile. You take a look at Jewish exile throughout the generations. What you have is they went to Babylon, they came back, they went to Europe, they had the golden age in Spain, Italy, France, Germany, England, Poland, Russia. Wherever the Jews went, there was suffering, a lot of suffering, even in the golden age in Spain, right? Why is that? Because it's exile. Mashiach is not yet here. That there should be peace all over the world, and people should get along with each other, right? Not like brothers selling the other brother, selling out part, whatever you can from the inheritance. I have to fight for it, I have to get my share, and whatnot. It's disgusting what goes on, right? But people go into exile, and it's never easy. You may be able to be successful, you might be very successful, but at the end result, it doesn't always work out that you have what you need, right? That will come. It will come. When? When Mashiach comes, right? And that's what Yosef told the brothers, Kituv kol eretz Mitzrayim lefanecha, right? All the good of Egypt will be there before you. You will merit to have a tremendous amount of wealth. You will have all good health, good feelings. You will have love and respect between everybody, but that will all come at the end. Right now in exile is when we have to work on ourselves, like Yosef, who had every reason to go against his brothers, and he didn't. He reconciliated. And he says, okay, you did something wrong to me. So what? So what? You did something wrong. It happened. It's gone. It's in the past, right? I don't live in the past. I live in the present for the future. I live in the present for the future. That's what I am alive for now. What do I do now in the present? That's what counts. That's the reconciliation. That's the love we show to everyone else. That's what we have to do in order to be able to build our lives and make our lives beautiful and wonderful, even though Mashiach has not yet come. And if we begin to see the beauty of what it means to have a life, to reconcile, then we'll be able to see the coming of Mashiach too. Have a great Shabbos and Kol Tov.